What is going on, everyone? How are we all doing? It's good to be making another video again, and in this video it's just going to be another piece of me sitting down and talking about how I've been feeling over the last few months, how my recovery is going, how I'm recovering from my injury, and the next steps going forward for this channel. And I'm just going to basically jump straight into things. So obviously, first of all, I'm going to talk about my injury, how recovery is going, how things are going for me, and where I'm at right now. So obviously I had my accident and my fall in May of this year, so it's been just over 5 months now, and I've made so much progress in my recovery. It's been fantastic, and this is because of the help from my physio that I've been having. She's been absolutely great, and she's really helped me kind of return to somewhat of normality in my life, which has been phenomenal. It's been absolutely fantastic, and I think without her help I wouldn't be anywhere near where I'm at right now. But there's also, you know, things like work have been so understanding and so helpful. They know that days are sometimes good. They know that some days aren't as good, and you know, I have to take each day as it comes. And you know, that's with Parkour UK and with the coaching side of things as well. There's a lot of respect there. There's a lot of understanding on how I'm feeling and how my recovery is going, and it's just been absolutely fantastic. With that being said, there's obviously days where my head still hurts quite a bit. There are days where my energy and my drive isn't quite there. But in the short space of time from such a traumatic injury that they said that I had, I've made such good progress. But unfortunately, there are still days, and I have to take each day as it comes. It's still going to be a very long time before I even think about training parkour at full capacity again, or, you know, make the decision on how my training is going to go, or, you know, things like that. But whilst I was recovering, I watched one of Steve-O's podcasts with Bam Margera, and this podcast kind of really changed the perspective on how I outlook on my injury currently and what's going to happen going forwards. So I'm just going to play this podcast clip here. I'm going to kind of let it play, go over the points that I was thinking about, and then the next steps would obviously be me explaining how this has impacted me.
Some YouTube content.
Yeah.
You know, like it's such an opportunity for you to just build a huge business empire by creating content.
Yeah.
Like, if I were you, I would be less concerned about really trying to push the boundaries of skateboarding.
Yeah.
And more concerned about developing the art of storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, and really letting your audience, your fan base, sort of join you on your journey of where you're actually at.
Yeah.
You know, I would urge you to be very careful about tying your happiness, your self-esteem, you know, like your mental health to your ability to skateboard.
Yeah.
You know, because being realistic, like, dude, we're old.
In that podcast section, obviously they're talking about Bam Margera's current situation. I'm not going to go into that. It's a whole, you know, that's not my field to talk about. But the element that Steve-O mentioned in that podcast about being less focused on the way that I move and my movement and my progression of movement and how I want to try and push the sport, and focus on the art of storytelling, has really resonated with me. And if you watch the short form content that I put on YouTube, or if you follow me on Instagram, which by the way is down there, and on TikTok as well, don't really understand TikTok, but I've started posting on there as well, is the art of storytelling within parkour. And parkour is such an important sport for me. I've been doing it for almost half my life at this point, and there's so much stuff to talk about in it that we're not really kind of focusing on talking about at the moment. So over the last few weeks, I've kind of been experimenting with some new content ideas, where I've been visiting parkour spots or parkour parks or visiting parkour gyms. And these are all kind of areas in parkour that I'm really passionate about and things that I really want to kind of explore further. And being able to still be involved in parkour without necessarily having to train it is really good. And these short form videos that I've been making have kind of given me this almost like new lease of life as to kind of myself, and they've given me something to do. I know I can't really train at the moment. I know there's barriers that I've got. I know there's things that I'm going to find very, very challenging. But being able to make these short form videos and kind of talk about, highlighting parkour gyms, which for me are so important because I've coached for 7 years. I've worked at a parkour gym for the last 6 years, and I know how important these spaces are, and I really want to support, and I really want to uplift, and I really want to promote these indoor spaces that we have within the UK, because these guys are helping the next generation of parkour athletes kind of come up. And as well, that content has then moved into things like parkour parks. Like I recently visited the Storrow Parkour Park and the Bewbush one in Crawley, which was one of the first in the country. And I'm just really excited to kind of tell the story of all of that. And I think that's where I'm going to be moving forwards. I think that's where I'm going to be going towards going forwards, is I want to tell stories, and I want to film videos that document these stories and kind of uplift and support the community and share all of these things. I think I've now kind of come to terms with my injury, and although some days are very challenging, I'm still sat there like, I still want to be involved. I still want to go out. I still want to be creative. I still want to make these things, and they're so fun to make. Like, I love making them so much. Like, it kind of gets to the point now where it's kind of a bit obsessive, because I'm like, just itching to get the next one done. But I think for the longest time, I've been so focused on making parkour videos around my training, and really I've kind of now had this situation, this calling, where I'm like, there's more to it, and there's more that I can do, and there's more that I can build, and there's more that I can explore. And to me, that's so exciting. So moving forward, I will be making like short form content on all of these places. I've got a couple of parkour gyms that I'm visiting over the next few weeks, and I've got a couple of parkour parks on the list that I want to visit as well. But I think maybe there's like longer form content pieces of this as well, and this means that maybe the long form videos won't be as regular. I'm still going to aim to do things like this, where I kind of sit down and talk about stories and news and stuff that's going on in parkour, but I think like I want to move forwards into documenting the stuff that's going on in parkour a little bit more. And obviously when I was first started parkour in 2012, and a couple of years after that, you had the Flow channel that would kind of do this thing where they would highlight athletes, they would highlight spaces, they'd go to events, they'd go to competitions, they'd make a little documentary on that. And I think that's kind of where I want to go down and where I want to explore in the future. I've also got loads of other ideas. There's a couple of things that I've been working on which I'm very excited to share soon, but I think I'm very optimistic about everything going forwards, and I'm very much excited to create parkour content that's not focused around my parkour training. So yeah, I just wanted to make this short video, kind of put it out there. I know it's one of those sit down talking videos, not everyone likes them, but yeah, I'm very excited. All the social media links are in the description. If you did want to follow me on those platforms, please do so. It really does help and support me out. And yeah, very excited for the future. It's going to be good. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the continued support. Much love. Cool. Thank you. I don't know how to finish this, so I'm just going to stop.